So here's my statement. So I once met Dave Grohl, the drummer from Nirvana and the lead singer of the Foo Fighters. I met Dave Grohl.
I forgot that he was in Nirvana.
Yeah,
I was just going to say the lead singer of Foo Fighters, and I was like,
you're a lot younger than us.
Drummer from Nirvana. So I met Dave Grohl at a Buddhist temple on a hillside in Japan.
Right.
Okay. So it was like an ancient Buddhist temple with a huge bronze statue of Buddha there. And there was hardly anybody there. And I was there. And I bumped into Dave Grohl and had a bit of a chat, made friends with him. So me and Dave now, well, friends, let's say. Yeah. Okay. So I met Dave Grohl at a Japanese Buddhist temple.
Why were you in Japan?
It's a long story.
I mean, you were there working, weren't you?
I lived there at the time.
Okay.
I was living there.
And why had you decided to go to that particular temple?
It was my day off. I was on my own. It was my day off, and I thought, I'm going to go and see that big bronze Buddha. And who knows, I might meet a famous grunge musician in the process. Now, I didn't think that, but I thought, I'm going to go and I've got the day off. And this Buddha was like sort of half an hour from where I lived.
How did you get to the Buddha?
There's several methods of transport that I used. One of them was to take the Tokaido line to Ofuna station, and then from there I took the
bollocks.
Well, he did live in Japan.
He did,
we
yeah.
do know. So he might know all this information.
Okay.
Well, it's just he might have all this information about Japan. So, okay, let's get to the chase. Dave Grohl, what was he wearing?
I think he was just wearing a t-shirt, jeans. I don't really remember, but I think he was just in a t-shirt, pair of jeans, shoes of some sort. I don't really remember. I didn't really clock all the clothes. I was more just impressed to see this rock star whose music I'd listened to for so long, you know, throughout my life. I just was more sort of bowled over by the fact that it was him there. So I wasn't like, oh my God, it's Dave Grohl. And look, he's wearing a black t-shirt.
Okay, all right, you are a man.
When you say you met Dave Grohl, talk me through that. What exactly happened?
Yeah.
So
paint a visual picture for us.
Okay, I'd been at the temple checking out the bronze Buddha. It was cool, right? I thought, right, I've had a look at that. I'm going to go home. So I turned round, you know the way you do, and I was leaving the temple. And as I was leaving, I noticed a group of 4 or 5 Westerners coming into the temple, all right? Wednesday afternoon, not many people around, just these 4 or 5 Westerners. And in Japan, when you see other non-Japanese people or Americans or Westerners or whatever, you normally sort of have a look and say, oh, look, some more Westerners. And there's almost that sense that you kind of look at each other and go, all right? You know what I mean? And so I did this, and I sort of looked at them, and I made eye contact with Dave Grohl, and we both looked at each other, and it was that sort of like, oh, yeah, you're not Japanese, neither am I. All right.
So he wasn't on his own, and he was with
he was with a few other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say Wednesday afternoon, what was your work schedule? Because that day off on Wednesday seems a bit.
Well, I was working
weird for
a school that was open on Saturdays and Sundays, and so they used to give us days off during the week.
School was open on Sunday?
Yeah. Saturdays and Sundays, the school, because it was a language school, so they had to, bring in adults.
Oh, it was adults
in their free
teaching
time.
For adults, okay.
So, yeah, the school was open Saturday, Sunday, so I used to have days off during the week, like this particular day on a Wednesday. Yeah. I made eye contact with Dave Grohl. I was like, oh, yeah, just a man, an English man, like a Western-looking man. And I kept walking. I was like, he seemed familiar. And then after a few steps, I was like, wait a minute. That was Dave Grohl from Nirvana and latterly the Foo Fighters. And so I turned round and
Did you speak to each other?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said, excuse me, Mr. Grohl. I didn't actually say Mr. Grohl. I said, excuse me, can I take a photo? And he was like, yeah, sure.
What camera did you have?
I had like a little camera phone. It's like
did you?
Camera phone. Yep.
What year was this?
2003.
2003, and you had a camera phone?
It was a Japanese one. It's a J phone.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Tell
one
me
of
more about this J phone.
The first ever camera phone that I'd ever had. Paul is looking very, very sceptical at this point.
No, that's fine. No, camera phones existed then.
In Japan, they were a bit more advanced. But tell me about this J phone. So you had a mobile phone.
Yes.
With a camera.
Yeah, that's right. and it was a J phone, and it was like one of those ones where you flip it open. You flip it open like that. So, like they all were, and it flipped it open. It had a little camera on the back, and it would take these low resolution little pictures.
So, did you take a picture with him?
Yes.
Did you ask? Did you? You couldn't. It was difficult to do a selfie, right?
Couldn't have done a selfie.
I didn't do a selfie. I wasn't in the picture.
Oh, you just took a picture of him.
I just took a picture of him, and he smiled, and he sort of raised his fist, sort of thing, to the camera.
Okay.
And it was him and a couple of other people, like the drummer from the Foo Fighters was there too,
Okay.
Taylor Hawkins, and some girl who I imagine is like Dave Grohl's girlfriend or something.
And did you take it? Like, was there anything particular in the background? Was the Buddha in the background?
The gift shop was in the background.
The
So I
gift shop.
actually followed them into the gift shop, and then I said, "Excuse me, can I take a picture?" And then we had a little chat, and I took a picture.
Okay.
Did you? What's your favourite Foo Fighters song?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe Everlong. Yeah,
And you play the drums.
that's right.
And did you admire Dave Grohl more as a drummer or a singer?
As a drummer, definitely.
Why do you think that he left Nirvana? I mean, not why did he leave Nirvana, but do you think he was always frustrated in Nirvana and wanted to be a singer?
I think that he left Nirvana in order to go to Japan and visit the Buddhist temple because he knew that I would be there. No, I don't think he ever left Nirvana. It's because Kurt Cobain, killed himself.
My question was more: did you think that he was always a frustrated singer? Like, why didn't he just start a new band and be the drummer?
He may have been a frustrated singer-songwriter during his career in Nirvana, and maybe there were tensions within the group. I expect there were some tensions.
You didn't ask him this when you met him?
No, well, no. Like, hello, Dave. It was amazing to see you here. Now, why did you leave? Why didn't you leave Nirvana earlier?
You should.
No, you can't just jump into a conversation like that, can you?
Who did you tell? Who was the first person you told about Dave Grohl when you got back to wherever it was?
It was. I went to eat a pizza in a local pizza place. Yeah,
in Japan.
Yep. They have pizza in Japan as well. It's not all just chopsticks and dead fish, So I went and had a pizza, and while I was eating my pizza, I was obviously like starstruck and blown away. The first person I texted was an Australian friend of mine who lived in the same building as me, who was also a Foo Fighters fan.
He lived in the same building as you in Tokyo?
Yes, in Yokohama.
Okay.
Do you think we've got enough information? Paul, do you want to
I don't know if getting any more information is going to help me make a decision here.
I feel like I've made my decision.
Yeah.
So you feel like you've made your decision, but Paul is still sort of on the fence a little bit, I feel. He's not sure if it's true or not. So are you ready, Amber, to give us your decision?
Well, we can keep on talking.
I've got nothing else to ask.
Okay.
So, okay then, Amber, what do you think?
I believe you.
You think it's true?
I think it's
what
true.
makes you say that?
Because the reason I thought it might not be true is because you do play the drums, and I thought maybe you'd just choose someone that you know, which
Right.
is then the Foo Fighter person.
Okay.
But I mean, if I saw Dave Grohl, I wouldn't recognise him.
Really?
Probably not.
You'd think he was Tom Morton. You go, oh look, Tom Morton's coming.
Probably. I might think he's Tom Morton. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Morton is a friend of ours who looks like Dave Grohl. Okay. Carry on.
Part of me, okay, we need to talk it through. Is what I'm saying. Like, part of me, I believe you because of these things. So if you saw him, it would be an exciting event for you, and you do have lots of sort of nice details about the telephone. The reason I don't believe you.
So you believe it's true, but you're not completely convinced.
I'm not completely convinced. The reason I don't believe you is because you were talking about Dave Grohl the other day. Now, that might be because you were thinking about Dave Grohl because you knew this story was coming up, or you thought about Dave Grohl and then you were like, oh, that would be a good story.
Or maybe now Dave Grohl has a sort of a permanent place in my mind because I've met the guy.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'm gonna go with it being true.
Okay.
Even though I have my doubts.
Okay. So you're about 75% convinced, let's say. Okay. Paul?
I think...
Play it safe, go the other way.
Well, I'm going to go the other way because it's part of the game. But
It's too convenient for it to be.
I think it's true, but it's not Dave Grohl. I think it's somebody else. I think he's changed the celebrity.
Changed his
Oh, you
celebrity.
think I've just changed the celebrity? Like, it's that simple?
Maybe.
Okay.
The thing that's a little bit sketchy is... I know he's very good at improvising, Luke. That's what a lot of he does. He answered a lot of the questions very, very well.
He did.
The particular way in which he got to the Buddhist temple could have just been rubbish because we can't verify that whatever line goes to whatever station. So I think like that, he could have been just telling us his way to work. every day.
We don't know anything about
Well, you know
Buddhist
what?
temple, to be
Ironically, the Buddhist temple was on the way to work. So I would go from Tsujido to Ofuna, change trains to Kamakura, and then take another little train to get to the Buddhist temple. So it was actually on my way because I would... Anyway, yeah, it was on the way. But anyway, go on, sorry. So
you're going to say no?
Paul?
There was one detail. There was one thing where you and I can't remember what it is now. I'll have to re-listen to it back. But there's a bit where you said something and I thought, that doesn't sound right. Like it sounds like it was either too quick to respond or... So I'm going to say it's a lie.
Okay.
All right then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll.
A Dave Grohl drum roll.
A Dave Grohl drum roll. It is true. Absolutely true. And I've got the photo somewhere. I can show you the photo.
Yes, I'd like to see the photo.
Evidence. You really... Okay, all right, hold on. I'm going to just pause the podcast so I can find the photo. Hold on a second. So look, I've got the picture. There it is.
You should put that up.
I should put that on the page.
It's very small though.
Yeah, it's a tiny picture because it was taken on a
camera phone from 2002.
Very primitive Japanese camera phone, but there's the evidence. I'm going to just download it off Facebook and put it on the page for this episode. Okay, then. All right, so the scores then at this point, let me just...
Paul, 0 points.
So I got 2...
Amber, 1 point in the lead so far. Luke with 2 points.
All right, then. There we go.
Nice.
So because you got it wrong, Paul, I get 2 points. Because Amber got it right, she gets 1 point. And Paul, you didn't get any points. So that's where we stand so far. All right.
Okay.
As usual, this is going to be a Bash Paul podcast. Like every time the three of us get together, it's like, oh, Paul, how stupid you are and how bad your English is. You're just trying to come up with different games to make me the loser.
It's just humiliatepaul.com.
Hi, welcome to the Humiliate Paul podcast. Under the guise of Luke's English podcast.
Here at HPP, we like to make Paul look as stupid as possible. Don't forget to join the mailing list. Just go to humiliatepaulpodcast.com.